DQ. But we also had PK Chris, another one of the top
Oh,
seeds. I believe a top 4 seed even DQing. So that's two of the top 4 seeds DQing out of the bracket, making it a little bit cleaner for some of our players to go ahead and contest with that upper echelon there. Just got to find the right bracket run. Main winner of that probably going to be either Mr. Thugs or Raptor. They'll be fighting off against each other pretty soon. I believe on the side stream, might be on our stream. We'll have to wait and see. That being said, for now, we're going to be getting Chumlee versus Luminous here.
winner of this goes to winner's quarters, and then one win away from top 32. And we're seeing Guy as well, also DQ'd. And so even
Dang.
more opportunities for a lot of people now to move in across the bracket. Honestly, it's looking pretty good. Now we're seeing it.
That's another top 8 seed, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Oh. In the meantime, we are seeing nasty movements from the Yoshi. Now, Dark Pit as well. Projectile game going to be the name of the game, and a lot of get off me options are going to be available for Yoshi overall.
Alrighty, taken up to 90% here. Pit, of course, having those swords, so he's going to have a little bit of that range advantage for the most part, and utilizing that very well thus far. That being said, that egg going to go ahead and do a really good job of protecting Yoshi, one of the best shields in the game.
Multi-hit on the back here, sending him on to the outside. And I feel like if there was ever a character you can actually go outside with, it's definitely Yoshi, just because of their aerial mobility in general. You don't even have to use your second jump to go outside, but you can carry so much distance, and then there we go. Actually being a lot more aggressive.
Ooh, and the call out with the up air right there after. I love so far how we're utilizing this aerial movement from Chumlee. That being said, Luminous really looking to go ahead and find this kill, just really struggling to find the hit there, especially because, as you mentioned, that air acceleration is so good.
Try to drift away, dash attack, not quite going to be able to do enough. Yoshi bomb to land on the stage, 160 now, and still surviving. Looking for the back air that time, but it's not going to be complete. Just continuing to put on those projectile hits. And Dark Pit needs to do something. And like we mentioned beforehand as well, but rather Yoshi's a deceptively big boy. So all the way up to 125 now. On 191 is still surviving. Super important for Dark Pit to actually get a stray hit in to be able to take him out.
Yeah, this is looking really good for Chumlee. That being said, Luminous immediately, as I say, it finally finds that stock at 205%. Needs to be able to find these stocks a little bit earlier, otherwise Chumlee might be able to go ahead and run away with some of the damage lead here. That being said, right now, only 44% on deck, and now we get the dash attack. No follow-up with the Nair, and that allows Chumlee to just go ahead, reset with some eggs.
Gonna use a shield to move from side to side, left and right. In and out on multi-hits on the Nair, trying to go for the fair that time. Manages to hit it, but again, hyper armor, managing to actually get away using the command grab. Put him in the egg, differential of only 2%.
Okay, Luminous, we're firing back a little bit, but Chumlee found a way through in that forward air. Not going to get the spike hitbox that they wanted to confirm into the up air tails. But that being said, did find the follow-up a little bit later on. Now, Luminous firing back with a couple of arrows, able to go ahead and rack up a little bit of a percent, but we saw last time how long this stock lasted, so Chumlee, if that same thing repeats, we still got another 80%, but this time Luminous is going to shut it out.
Yeah, a lot of the ground mobility for Dark Pit is going to be super important in this matchup, and we've seen the juggles actually come into play because of Yoshi's flexibility on the air. I think it's better for them to actually continue the aggression on at least stay as much on the floor as possible, and we saw good combinations. That being said, that's a stock lost for Dark Pit, differential of only 35.
Yeah, no, this is going pretty even despite some stocks dropping way later on than they should have. Now Luminous finding a little bit of a combo there, of course. Pit not having the most extensive combo game, but still being able to find a couple of 2 or 3 pieces here and there. Now Chumlee fighting for a little bit of extra damage, but Luminous is doing a really good job of just outspacing and undershooting them.
And the command grab got all the way up to 65, barely missing the mark on that up smash, which could have sealed the deal. Actually moving in upwards, trying to go for another up air, blocks it with the shields, and oh my god, actually sets him in place to knock him, flog him onto the left side.
You had it very well, but then all of a sudden Yoshi just comes in. Look at that, Chumlee feeling a little good about that, I'm sure. I mean, bro just came in, sniped him with that back air. Look at this. In such a bad position, and then all of a sudden, let me go ahead, push you to the side, and let me just get the quick call out with the drag down.
Right, I'm back here, not actually doing a lot of work for Chumlee for a situation that looked a little difficult for him. Now, one game away to advance on to the next round. In the meantime, Luminous, I mean, played a really good game, so staying with the same characters, it's just a matter of finding those openings to be able to deal with Yoshi.
Yeah, and we're going to go ahead and take it to small battlefield, make it a little bit harder for Chumlee to maneuver around Luminous's sword and those hitboxes. I really like this pick overall. Just make it a little bit harder for the close combat character. That being said, right now, it is not looking too hot for Luminous.
Absolutely not. And a similar situation to what we saw in the first game as well. Getting hit with that fair super early.
Ooh.
Actually charged it up in recognition that he knew pretty much that that down special in particular was not being held that long. So good recognition on Chumlee.
Wow, and look at that, just finding that nair too. I mean, the edge guarding for the extra damage, it might not be finding the kills just because Pit has such a good recovery, but at the same time, you're racking up 55% off of one advantage state. That's really good.
And moving in, Angel's Wings. Oh! Just planting him downward. Tremendous recovery by Dark Pit. That's the only reason why he was able to survive.
Pit can make it so far. I really think we need to ban Young Link over this.
Oh my god. Some multi-hits onto the back air. Egg tosses covering the platform as well. And the pressure that they are putting in with that fair is insane! If at first you don't succeed, you try and try again, and what doesn't kill you usually succeeds in the second attempt, and this time, the third time, was the charm.
They say insanity is doing the same thing twice and expecting a new result. I say that's just Chumlee, baby. That's how he finds those wins, and so far, it is working out great for him. And now look at that, gets the grab, and we go for the fair. Only got a sour spot there, but still, look at this. Almost a full 2 stocks, even with the damage count. Oh, good lord.
Almost reads it in, and that was going to be nasty from Chumlee as well, who is just feels a lot more comfortable in pressing buttons in this second game, and I do not blame him in the slightest. Everything has been hitting right on the mark.
Alrighty, I love these eggs. Gonna go ahead and just lay on some nice good protection here. Now we try to find the stock with the nairs, the down airs, but all we need, it's the fair. It took stock 1, it took stock 2, it's gonna take stock number 3 with the conversion into the up air.
It does your taxes, it cleans your dishes, it makes your bed, it does everything for you, especially for Yoshi. The amount of spacing was actually tremendous by Chumlee. That's exactly what you need to advance on to the next round.
I don't know about how useful it really is, because I've been trying to use my schnoz like that in real life, and I just got a broken nose. That being said, Chumlee found it to be the key to success, and now Luminous heading on into that loser's bracket. Very well done, and at this point, Chumlee only got, I believe, one more set to make it into, top 32 winner side. And consider the fact that this is also the bracket pathing where Guy DQ'd. That's going to make it a little bit easier for Chumlee.
Wholeheartedly agree. It's pretty much not going to be a cakewalk because there's still a lot of Smash to be played, but any type of lowering of difficulty just to get onto that winner's side. They say online that the best way to get it to a top 8 is to win winner's quarters. So I would say just continue to be on winner's side. It's going to be a lot easier for you to make a top 8, maybe even a top 4, possibly top 1 if you want that. But now we're seeing that drag down on the back air onto the forward smash. And now we're moving on to the second game highlights.
Also, side note, Justin Byleth also DQing from the event. So losing out on another one of the top seeds. Quite a bit of people having to drop, unfortunately. Still, Got a pretty overall stacked bracket. Of course, Samba, Phantom, BD Bean, L7, Haze, Mr. Thugs. I mean, this is still a nasty enough bracket.
Hmm.
That being said, I'm a little bit curious to see my who's your pick for today, by the way, out of the
I'm
people
pick.
that are still here.
I'm gonna be super lame and say Zomba.
I'm gonna give it to Mr. E. That's my guy.
Ooh, okay, that's spicy.
Dude's a big. I don't eat spicy. I feel like you're over exaggerating that one a little bit. I mean,
Mm.
man, I think bro is like the second seed of the event. Yeah, with Syrup dropping, he's seed number 2. So I mean, I think bro can take it. Mr. E is just a very fundamentally solid player and is always very impressive to me when I see him play.